In this lesson, we will be looking at how you can speed up data entry by using Excel's AutoFill feature. This feature allows you to duplicate data from neighboring cells. It can also be used to fill cells automatically with data that follows a pattern or that is based on data in other cells. You can even create your own custom list of words that can be automatically entered when using the AutoFill handle. The AutoFill handle is the square at the bottom right corner of the current cell. When you move your cursor over the square, it will turn into a crosshair. When the cursor is a crosshair, you can drag the AutoFill handle to the cell you want to use in your series. For example, I want to copy what is in cell A1 through cell E1, so I will drag the AutoFill handle to cell E1. Notice as I drag the AutoFill handle, a tooltip is displayed that shows me what will be placed in that cell. I just created a horizontal series by dragging to the right. You can also drag the AutoFill handle to the left. You can make a vertical series by dragging the AutoFill handle down to another cell or up to another cell. Besides being able to create duplicate data, the AutoFill handle can be used to create a series of repeating data lists. Excel has built-in data lists such as quarters in a year, days of the week, and months of the year. I can type quarter 1 in a cell and then drag the AutoFill handle to where I want the last quarter to appear. As I drag across the cells, the tooltip shows me what will be placed in that cell. Excel knows that there are 4 quarters in a year. Once you go past 4 quarters, Excel starts to repeat the pattern. You can use the abbreviation for quarter, and Excel still understands that there are 4 quarters in a year. The AutoFill handle can be used to display the days of the week. Just enter the day of the week you want to start with, and then drag the AutoFill handle to where you want the last date to appear. You can use the abbreviated format for the days of the week as well. You can enter the name of any month and then use the AutoFill handle to continue from that month. I want to use the 3-character abbreviation for month, but when I type an F, Excel uses the autocorrect feature to fill the rest of the word in for me. I will drag across the last 5 letters and then press the delete key to remove them. I can now use the AutoFill handle to enter the abbreviated names of the month. Whenever you have a cell that contains text but ends with a number, Excel will increase that number by 1 for each cell in the series. You can also create a vertical series starting with any number. You can teach Excel a pattern by dragging across 2 or more adjacent cells that contain the pattern you want to repeat. If I drag across cells B2 and C2, I will teach Excel the pattern that the next cell will have a value 3 higher than the previous cell. Once I have the 2 cells selected, I can use the AutoFill handle to repeat the pattern. The pattern can include decimal values. If I use cells B3 and C3 for my pattern, what do you think the next value will be? Since cell 3 has a value 2 higher than cell B3, the next value will be 5.5. I will drag across the two cells to select them. When selecting cells, I want to make sure that I am in the center of the cell and that my cursor is displayed as a block cross. You can see from the tooltip that the next value is going to be 5.5. You can teach Excel a numerical pattern even if the data contains text but ends with a numerical value. Since cell C4 ends with a numerical value of 3, which is 2 higher than the previous cell, the next cell will contain section 5. You can create text patterns that are longer than 2 cells. In this example, we want to repeat freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior. So we will select the 4 cells and then use the AutoFill handle to repeat the 4-cell pattern. You can also create patterns of time or date. Here we will create a list of times starting from 1 a.m. to 7 a.m. We want an hourly pattern, so we will drag across 1 and 2 a.m. and then use the AutoFill handle to repeat the pattern. Next, we want to create dates that are 1 day apart. I will select the 2 dates and then use the AutoFill handle to create dates from August 1st to August 5th, 2019. I will select a single cell that contains layout 1, then drag the AutoFill handle to cell F6. This makes the series layout 1, layout 2, layout 3, and so forth. But I only wanted to copy the text layout 1 to these cells. I will click on the AutoFill Options button at the bottom right of the Fill series and then select Copy Cells. Now all the cells in the series have changed to layout 1. I will type an L in cell A3. Autocomplete fills in the rest of layout 1 for me. I will select the text and then bold it, italicize it, underline it, and change the font color to green. I will then drag the AutoFill handle to cell F3. I will click on the Fill Option button and select Fill without formatting. This completes the series, but the filled cells will not have any of the formatting that was applied to cell A3. I will repeat what I did in cell A3. I will type an L. AutoCorrect fills in layout 1. I select the text, and then I bold it, italicize it, underline it, and change its font color to green. I then drag the AutoFill handle to cell F4. I will click on the Fill Option button and select Fill Formatting Only. Now only the formatting that was applied to cell A4 has been applied to the other cells in the series. To verify that, I will type in the word Design in cells C4 and D4. You can see that these two cells have the same formatting applied to them as cell A4. I will type in the date for October 2nd, 2019. I will drag the AutoFill handle to cell F6. You can see that we now have a series of dates ranging from October 2nd to October 7th. Now when I click on the AutoFill Options button, you see additional options that apply to dates. I will select Fill Months. The series has changed to a sequence of months with the original day of 2. I will again type in the date October 2nd, 2019. I will click on the Options button and select Fill Years. The years have been changed by a sequential series, but the month and day remain the same. I will once again type in October 2nd, 2019. I will click on the Options button and select Fill Weekdays. Notice that the date in cell C8 is October 4th and the date in cell D9 is October 7th. The gap between the dates is because October 5th and October 6th are weekend dates. When you select Fill Weekdays, Excel only displays those dates for Monday through Friday. I will click on the AutoFill Options button and select Fill Without Formatting. Whoa, what's this? If you display a date without formatting, Excel will display that date with the number of days that date is from January 1st, 1900. There are 43,741 days from January 1st, 1900 to October 3rd, 2019. The first date in Excel is January 1st, 1900. If you type a date previous to that, Excel will treat that date as text rather than a date. I will change the dates back to their original format by selecting Fill Days. Excel allows you to create your own custom lists that can be used in a series. You can save data entry time by making your own fill series out of lists that you will often want to repeat. I will make a series that will include President, VP of Sales, VP of Distribution, and VP of Media. I will first select the cells that contain the pattern I wish to repeat. I will import the pattern I have just selected into the Custom Lists dialog box. To get there, I will click on File on the ribbon, then select Options. I will click on Advanced and then scroll all the way down. I will click on the Edit Custom Lists button. I will click on the Import button. The text from each cell is placed on a separate line in the List Entries list box. The list also appears at the bottom of the Custom list box. You can import a list or you can create a new custom list directly into the List Entries list box. I want to create additional custom lists, so I will click on New List. I want to create a custom list consisting of North, South, East, and West. I will type North in the list entries and then press Enter. I will do the same for the other 3 words. When you have finished entering your list, you need to click on the Add button. I want to create one more custom list, so I will click on New List. My new list will consist of cities. I will type each city on a separate line. I will click on the Add button to add the cities to the custom list. I will click on the OK button. I will click on the OK button of the Excel Options dialog box. Let's use the custom list we just created. I will type Chicago in cell A5. I will drag the AutoFill handle to cell E5. This displays the custom list we created for cities. I will type South in cell A7. I will drag the AutoFill handle to cell E7. Notice that once it finishes the pattern, it starts to repeat it. Now let's use the custom list that we imported. I will type President in cell A9. I will drag the AutoFill handle to cell D9. We will now delete the 3 custom lists that we created. The lists are deleted in the same custom list dialog box where they are created. I will click on File on the ribbon. I will click on Options. I will click on Advanced. I will scroll down and then click on Edit Custom List button. In the custom list, I will click on the list that we imported and then click on the Delete key. Excel asks for a confirmation that I want to delete the list. I will click on OK. The list we imported no longer appears in the custom list. Let's do the same for the other 2 custom lists we created.